Right now at noon, the search for a missing 87-year-old man near Carthage comes to an end.
And it's going to be a beautiful day out there and a nice end to our work week. However, a cold front is coming through, but I'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a change in tax policy means some Jasper County entities will have to rethink their budgets.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Neodesha teenager is seriously injured following a crash in Wilson County. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Samantha Walker. The crash happened around 4 p.m. Thursday. According to the crash report, a Polaris Ranger was going east on 200 Road south of Neodesha while a Dodge truck was going north on US 75. The Ranger failed to yield and hit the truck in the intersection. The driver of the Ranger, a 15-year-old from Neodesha, was not wearing a seatbelt. The teen was flown to a Wichita hospital for serious injuries. The driver and passengers of the truck were wearing seatbelts. No other injuries are known. Authorities in Jasper County, Missouri believe they found the body of a man who had been missing for more than 2 weeks. Missing person notices had been posted saying 87-year-old Hugh Berry was last seen leaving his home west of Carthage on October 20th. Now the Jasper County Sheriff's Department reports the discovery Thursday of a body believed to be Berry's remains. Their search was aided by the 3R Canine Search Foundation and Christian Aid Ministries Search and Rescue. Investigators say they do not suspect foul play. While a positive ID is still pending, authorities say they are confident it's the body of Hugh Berry. Now let's check in with meteorologist Donald O'Keefe for a look at the forecast.
It's going to be a pretty beautiful day, and like I said, a beautiful end to your work week. Taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, beautiful sunny skies. So those clouds this morning all dissipated. Range line I-44, same thing. Pretty nice driving conditions if you're just out doing things for your Friday. Let's look at our temperatures for yesterday at Almanac. So we got up to 73 degrees and our low was 46. So we are definitely above average for this time of year for our temperatures. And that trend will continue today and a little bit into tomorrow as well. But our current conditions, 70 degrees, nice sunny skies. This is a very beautiful Friday that we have for us. Good start to our weekend. Looking at our evening though, we are going to cool down. You can see by 7 p.m. 59 degrees, cooling down to about 52 degrees by 11 p.m. And it's going to be mostly cloudy and like I said on the cooler side as some clouds are going to start increasing through the evening. All right, taking a look at our future track. We have northwesterly winds, clear skies through pretty much the rest of the afternoon and into the evening time. But by the time we get to about 6 p.m., clouds are going to start building in and we're going to see overcast skies for this evening. But I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Donald. A change in tax policy means some Jasper County entities will have to rethink their budgets. Some political subdivisions around Jasper County could see less than anticipated in revenues from property taxes. With over 6,300 Jasper County residents receiving the senior tax credit this year, school districts, fire departments, and city governments will now get less money than they thought. School districts are seeing the largest financial impact, with some districts receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars less than they anticipated.
Property values are up, and the Carthage schools passed an operating levy increase this last spring, but the seniors that got the credit are tied back to 24, not this year. So that operating increase times the new assessed value makes that difference much larger.
Jasper County Collector Steve McIntosh says despite credits being applied, residents overall are paying more in taxes this year due to it being a reassessment year and property values rising. Well, the Quapaw Nation approved $500 payments to tribal households receiving SNAP benefits. The committee says many families face food insecurity due to the federal government shutdown. Eligible households must show proof of SNAP benefits before the shutdown. The tribe calls on federal officials to end the shutdown and restore benefits to those in need. Officials will have more information on how to apply for this help soon. Well, protesters outside the Payne County Courthouse in Oklahoma with signs in hand. They're upset a teenager convicted on several rape-related charges now will not face jail time. Paige Taylor reports on the charges against the teen and the now lighter punishment.
This body cam footage shows then 17-year-old Jesse Butler being arrested at his home in Stillwater earlier this year. He was convicted of 11 charges in total, 10 charges related to rape, including domestic assault and battery by strangulation and rape by instrumentation, and 1 charge for violating a protection order. Records show the charges stem from incidents with 2 different victims. He pleaded no contest, and what was originally a 78-year sentence was changed after he was given youthful offender status. Now we're learning he will have to do community service and attend counseling and faces no jail time.
The justice system here in Stillwater has allowed a violent sex offender to walk free. Not only is he currently free and loose on the streets, he's a virtual student at Stillwater Public Schools as a senior, and after he finishes having this slap on the wrist, he doesn't even have to register as a sex offender.
During a protest on Wednesday, people lined the streets, including students.
It really means a lot to show that there's a lot of people out here that really care and truly want to make this world better and get people like him off the streets.
Justice top of mind for students in attendance.
I want him to get what he deserves. He needs to be prosecuted. Worthington needs out of office.
It makes me hopeful that in those situations we might get more justice for people.
Butler is scheduled to be back in court on December 8th. Well, coming up, changing desperation to transformation. That's at the heart of the Joplin program. We learn more. And later, we're making the easiest lasagna ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Changing desperation to transformation. That's at the heart of a Joplin program. This week's Doing Good report takes us to Joplin, where a program hosted by Watered Gardens is working to help men who are at the end of their rope. KOAM's Ty Parks has the story.
All right, I was at the end of my rope. I was actually in a psych ward and had no other means of either going back and burning all the bridges that I had as far as family is concerned.
On 15th Street in Joplin sits a small old church with a big mission, a mission for change. The Forge program welcomes men who are at their lowest and are willing to grow.
When a guy applies to come into the Forge, that really is the first step of changing them, if you will. Of course, I'm not changing anybody. Only God can change somebody, and that He will only change them to the extent that they will allow themselves to be changed.
They start in a dorm setting and volunteer around Water Gardens while taking classes on being a better person.
Christian discipleship, but also what does it mean to be a member of the community? What does it mean to have a strong work ethic? What does it mean to operate with integrity and honesty? And so we just cultivate that during that education phase.
The next phase is small apartment living. It's a little bit more freedom while still being guided.
That's where they begin to have an actual job somewhere in the community. We assign them a Christian business mentor. So here's a man who's willing to meet with them every week and just talk through how are things going at work? How are things going at the campus where you're staying there at Forge? What's going on in your life?
The end goal being commissioned to go out and be a better man, helping to impact society in a positive way.
I see everything that I'm doing as like ministry. It's an opportunity, whether it's at work, in relationship with the people in my community at God's Resort, whether I'm just interacting with people at church or even at the grocery store. Like, I see those opportunities I see those situations as opportunities to see what God is doing, and in the same way, like how He's blessed me, I want to give a measure of that back.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The men stay at the place until they're ready to move on in the world without all government assistance. While hammering hot metal, riding in covered wagons, and learning about Native American culture. Area students experience pioneer life firsthand at Cato Days, the small historic Crawford County town founded in 1854, transformed into a living classroom where students explored Southeast Kansas pioneer heritage and discovered what life was like more than 150 years ago. Cato Days featured 7 interactive stations, from blacksmith demonstrations to cowboy culture. Students also visited the site of Crawford County's first school.
One of the main goals is that Cato was a very important part in the settlement of Southeast Kansas. It was a hub. People came here and had their grain ground, and actually it was a stopover for the stagecoach between Fort Scott and Baxter Springs.
The educational adventure continues Saturday. Well, still to come on KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
How do you find time to make lasagna with all that's on your holiday to-do list? Easily, once you know the secret.
And it's going to be a pretty decent Friday and Saturday, but Arctic air pushes into our area this weekend. I'll have a look at your forecast after the break. It's a beautiful day out there for our Friday. That trend will continue through the afternoon and into the evening. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. You can see beautiful sunny blue skies out there. It's a beautiful day if you want to get out for a nice walk this afternoon and this evening. But let's take a look at our regional temperatures. I want to talk about why we're having a little bit of a warm spell and why we're going to get some colder air later on into the weekend. So right now you can see we do have a mix of northwesterly winds. That's the colder north winds mixing with those southerly winds. But right now it's actually more dominated by northwest winds, but there's still temperatures are not too bad. You can see that it says about 69 in Joplin. So not too bad at this moment, but those are going to dominate later on into the weekend. But looking at our future track, so today at noon, there's our northwesterly winds right now. They're going to stay around, but it's still going to be pretty nice sunny skies, and that's going to continue through the afternoon into the evening. But by the time we get to about 6 o'clock and then through the rest of the evening, you can see those clouds start to build back in. So the overnight's going to be mostly cloudy, and that's going to pretty much continue till Saturday morning about 5 a.m. But we notice a shift in the wind. The wind, instead of coming out of the northwest now, is coming back out of the south. So that's going to bring in some nice warmer air for Saturday. Still a little bit on the partly cloudy side. You can see some clouds there. But by the time we reach about noon, you notice the wind shift again. So there's the northwesterly winds. And that's actually why it's going to be on the windier side tomorrow. Gusts could be up to 30 miles an hour because of this front that's going to be slowly making its way into our area. And through Saturday, those winds start to dominate. 6 p.m., it's still going to be there, but still a pretty decent day until that front really pushes on Sunday. Our current conditions, not too bad. Look at that, 70 degrees, sunny skies. It is a beautiful Friday, a great start to our weekend. If you're planning your day, like I said, a high of about 70 degrees, mostly sunny, very nice. Those northwest winds, very comfortable at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So a good start to our weekend. Our overnight, not too bad either, dropping down to about 46. It is going to be mostly cloudy and cool, so if you want to get out and do a nice little walk, do it before it gets a little bit colder by about 8 to 10 o'clock in the evening time. So tomorrow, 68 degrees, a little cooler than it was today, still sunny, but on the windier side. That's why I said we're going to have those west winds 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30, and then eventually switching to northwest. And that's when this cold is going to come in. Here's the frost and freeze forecast. This is why I was talking about those winds that are going to be coming down from the Arctic. We can see dropping down to 35 degrees on Saturday. Frost is possible. 21 degrees on Sunday. A hard freeze. It's actually almost below the graphic. That's how cold it's going to be as you're waking up. So you're going to definitely need a jacket when you're getting out the door. You're going to need your ice scraper. There's definitely going to be some frost on your car. Make sure to start your car before you get out in driving into work. And then 29 on Monday as well. It's going to be pretty cold. And then we're going to warm up again by the time we get to about Tuesday into Wednesday. Taking a look at our 10-day forecast, 70 for today, 68 for tomorrow. On the windier side, temperatures drop significantly by Sunday and Monday, and you can see those lower temperatures for overnight. And then we really warm up a little bit by Tuesday, and then we possibly see another warm up by the middle part of next week, maybe seeing 70 again by next Thursday. But it's going to be a really nice end to the week and a pretty decent start to the weekend, but cool Arctic temperatures are coming in.
I am not loving seeing, a 21 on there. It feels so wrong when it's so nice and warm out there right now. I'm going to walk out on Sunday and be like, what happened?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, definitely make sure you have your coat ready because it's coming.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Donald. Stick around. We're making the easiest lasagna ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, the name says it all. We're making the easiest lasagna ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Whenever we find an easier way to cook something, we can't wait to share it with you. Like simplifying lasagna, for example. It's a classic dish that we all love, but we often don't make because we think it's a lot of work. The good news is that we've come up with a way to throw one together in no time. Let me show you. First, we brown some sausage and set it aside. Then, we combine some ricotta cheese, an egg, chopped fresh basil, and some mozzarella cheese. Now we spoon half of the spaghetti sauce in the bottom of a baking dish. And here's the real time saver. We top that with uncooked lasagna noodles, so there's no need to wait for water to boil. Next goes the cheese mixture, the cooked sausage, and then sliced fresh mushrooms. We top that with the rest of the noodles, some mozzarella cheese, and more sauce. And it's okay if the noodles don't reach the edges because they'll expand when baking since we add a little water to the pan. Then we cover it and bake it off. What we end up with is layer after layer, oozing with lots of cheesy, meaty goodness. A little Parmesan cheese on top, and it's time to dig in. It's so simple, we call this the easiest lasagna ever. The recipe's online, ready for you to have on hand now through the new year. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for an easier and a cheesier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
It's going to be a beautiful end to our work week. As you can see for Friday, getting up to 70 degrees, sunny skies. Saturday looks pretty good as well, 68 degrees. But that cold weather is definitely coming pretty quickly. November is going to remind you that it is November with those lower temperatures. You see 40 and 45 degrees. And then another possible warm up by the middle part of next week. So it's definitely feeling like it's going to feel like it's getting close to winter by the end of this weekend.
It's going to feel actually seasonal when we talk about how warm it's been. So
yeah.
Well, definitely. Thanks, Donald. Well, coming up tonight at 5, new research suggests walking just 7,000 steps a day can help ward off disease from cancer to dementia. A group of doctors is trying to help patients reach that goal, launching regular walks outside the office. Plus, a look at how the Galena School District is recognizing and honoring area veterans. And we get a first-hand look at the new and improved Lamar Police Station. What changes the community can expect to see. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at noon. Have a great afternoon.